Alright guys, so today we're going to take a look at the Alienware 720H gaming headset. Now it's been a while since I've checked out a gaming headset on this channel, and that's kind of odd considering really that's what this channel started on. And so the 720H is like right in the middle of Alienware's new lineup of gaming headsets. They have the 520H, which is just the wired gaming headset, the 720H, which is the one we're going to check out today, which gives you the wired mode and a wireless mode using the dongle that they've included. And then they also have a 920H model, which gives you both of those, but also adds Bluetooth on top of that. So the 720H that we're going to talk about today comes in retailing at $159, although right now I see it on Dell's website for $119. And we're going to talk about, basically where it's priced, what all you're getting inside the box, and see if it's worth the $159 or $119 price tag. So to start with, some of the features, some of the things that makes these stand out is they are high-res audio certified. They also have that Dolby Atmos support, which is huge if you're going to be using this on a PC. It does use a normal 3.5mm headphone cable if you just want to plug it straight into any device that supports that. And on that cable, it does have an inline mic, and then it also uses a wireless dongle. Now you get the USB-C connection, but it also comes with a USB-A adapter. A lot of things are converting over to USB-C, so it's nice that you have both of these options right out of the box. Now, the charging cable they've included is a USB-C to USB-A. Battery life is actually fairly impressive. On a full charge, you're going to get about 30 hours, but if you do just happen to pick them up and they're dead, this pair also has a fast charging feature where a 15-minute charge will give you 6 hours of use. So that's nice that if you pick them up and they're dead, charge them for 15 minutes, and 6 hours is definitely going to get most people through a single gaming session. Now, obviously, if you're going to use these on PC, you're going to want to download Alienware software, and the software is pretty bland. Really, the only things it does is it allows you to keep the headset updated, and it also gives you some lighting controls. Now, there's no EQ controls within the software because it kind of just directs you over to download the Dolby Atmos app, and this is what allows you to go through different EQ options, open up the Soundstage and the imaging with the spatial audio. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do there, but you, again, really can't do any of that within Alienware app. You're doing that through the Dolby Atmos app. So now the design and the build of these, this is going to be one of those people either love or they hate. I'm actually a fan of the design. I think it has a nice futuristic look. And if you do have Alienware's laptops or their desktops, it actually does match it pretty well. Like I said, there is RGB lighting with the alien heads that are on the outside of the ear cups. The ear cups do have a slight swivel to them, but they don't swivel flat. The headband is a fabric material, but it's using the suspension headband inside. The ear cups on these are a fabric material, but it is memory foam inside. Now, the 920Hs had pleather material, so I do prefer the pleather feel, but I do understand why they went with the fabric. If you're a gamer, you want something that's a little bit more breathable than the pleather. So this is going to get you through longer sessions without sweating, as opposed to the 920H using the pleather material. Now, as far as any inputs and buttons and things like that, on the left-hand side, you have your 3.5mm headphone jack, you have your mic mute button, and then you have the toggle, which kind of allows you to go more towards game audio or towards chat. So you can kind of balance it out the way you want here. And on the right-hand side, you have your power button and then also your volume rocker. And then that's it, because everything else is on the front side, which is where the USB-C input's located, which is on the right. And then on the left-hand side, you have a retractable noise-canceling mic, which I feel like is pretty good. It's not like fantastic. It's not the best gaming mic that I've heard, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here's the mic test using the 720H, and I think overall it does a pretty decent job of picking up my voice. So this is what it would sound like if you're going to use these while gaming. So now let's jump into the sound. And before we jump right into the sound, let's talk about a few things. These are using 40mm drivers. The impedance level of these is only 32 ohms. So if you're going to use these in the wired mode using the 3.5mm plug-in, you're definitely going to be able to get plenty of volume. And actually the sound of these is pretty decent overall without them being powered on. Again, to really take advantage of these and the way I feel like they're intended to be used, you're going to want to use them in wireless mode so that you power them on. You're using like the internal amplifiers that these have. And for the most part, the sound isn't very good out of the box. It's a little too bloated, a little too bass heavy, and it's not really doing too much to bring out details and bring out dialogue, which with gaming, honestly, that's just as important as it is the explosion. So, you know, if you're a bass head, you'll like it out of the box the way it is probably, but you're still going to feel like it lacks in detail. So once you go through the Dolby app and you start to kind of, you know, play around with settings a little bit, I was definitely able to bring out details quite a bit. And surprisingly, it became a fairly bright sounding pair of headphones that still had a lot of punch in the low end. I think that's like the best way to game. I like brighter details. I like mids push forward so I can hear like subtle footsteps and then I can hear people talking easily, but I still like to feel explosions and gunshots and things like that. So I definitely like that U-shaped curve. But another thing that I felt like was pretty impressive about these, and I honestly wasn't expecting too much, because in gaming headsets, when it comes to the Soundstage and sound imaging, when a headset tries to simulate surround sound or try to basically give you a fake space in your sound, it generally doesn't work. You usually feel like there's just too much reverb or echo and it's just artificial sounding. And that wasn't the case with these. I felt like they definitely sounded fairly open, and they really did isolate me from anything else. I didn't hear a lot of the things going on around me, although these aren't noise canceling. So just the seal that I was getting and the isolation that I was getting just from the headsets, I was fairly impressed with. But again, it made me feel like I was in a large room, and you're definitely able to tell where footsteps and different sounds are coming from. So as a gaming headset, I think it does a good job. It doesn't do a great job because I've heard a lot better in this price range, but when it came to music, this just simply wasn't a headset that I would use for that. And there are gaming headsets that I think sound good for gaming and just for listening to music, and I personally like to have a headset that I could use for both, because if I'm going to use it with my PC, I want to be able to use it for both and feel like it does a good job with both, and this just doesn't do that. And that's where the 920Hs come in. It is a better headset in my opinion, and also being able to have that Bluetooth connectivity just makes those a better buy, especially considering that they go on sale for about the same price as these and sometimes even lower. So there's no reason to buy the 720Hs if the 920H is on sale. But if you're looking for a very decent gaming headset and you like the flashy lights, or maybe you just want to match your Alienware setup, you know, that's where I would recommend these. But there's just so many options in this price range. It's hard to just say that, yeah, this is a definite recommendation. It's just one of those that can get lost in the sea of gaming headsets. But guys, that wraps up my video on the Alienware 720H. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.